Good morning. I don't know if this is adjusted correctly or not. We'll see. So, so yeah, the laptop has been relocated. Yeah, I don't know what was going on yesterday. I couldn't. Everything was like frozen and restarting. It wasn't restarting properly. So, I mean, it's what happens, right? It's not the newest of laptops, and it has a few miles on it, and I've certainly been using it um, pretty frequently. So yeah, it seems fine now. We'll hope for the best, uh, but yeah, it's these things happen as they do, um, and they always seem to happen right, when you need them, right? So um, that's a given. So I know um, it seems to be just sort of a law that these things happen that way. So uh, if I have a soap order, I can guarantee you that I will have almost everything I need except for one thing. Uh, it's just how it works out. Either I don't have one soap on hand, or more frequently, what happens is I don't have the labels printed. So I'll have everything except for one. So then I have to go print labels, which means another layer of complexity, right? Will the printer work? Will I have the paper that I need? Um, Sometimes I do. Sometimes, sometimes the printer has decided to take a little rest holiday. Um, so it's almost. I mean, it's sort of a joke. I'm joking about it, but it is the truth, right? I mean, um, it happens too often for it not to be a truth in my life. Maybe everyone else's life too. I don't know. Um, but it's certainly a pattern um, for me to be almost prepared, but not quite. Um, so I don't know if that's a sign, right, that I need to um, be more prepared, or that I need to um, be accepting that that is the way of things. I kind of think it's the second, right? I think it's important to understand that um, your best plans can go out the window in a moment, and that we need to be okay with that. I mean, we don't have to love it. It can be very frustrating. It can make us crazy. Um, I should say we can make ourselves crazy with it, but it is the nature of things that that unexpected things will happen. And how are we going to deal with that? Good morning, Susan and Deb and Ruth. Um, and I wanted to actually, while I'm speaking to you all, I would like to thank you. A shout out to everyone who's sent a card and or a donation for the classes. I really appreciate it. We're not, um, I'm not charging for these, and I like being able to do that. I think it's fun, but it's nice to know that you guys appreciate it in a monetary form from time to time. So it's nice. I mean, I've always thought when we started this, we looked into, because there are, different like little programs that you can run through that, you have to pay to get through it and everything. But actually, it was my husband who said, "Well, what if you just did it for free and saw what would it be like? What would it be like to do something just strictly donation based?" Um, and so it's been fun, and I appreciate it. Um, for me, it's been great because I don't have to keep track of things. And also, I have a little more freedom, right? I can do a little more of my maybe stuff that's a little more out there because, again, like I'm just giving it out to you. I don't feel obligated to do it one way or another. If I have an off day, if I have a day where my laptop won't work, it's okay, right? It's nothing to worry about. And the same thing for you. You know, it's if it's gives you joy and you're enjoying it, great. You know, and you can donate to it. Or if you aren't there for a while or you can't make it, that's fine too. It's just there. It's out there, and the classes are there. I'm going to keep them up as long as I guess I'm allowed to. I don't maybe forever. So we have a never-ending, uh, eternally growing catalog of classes. More than 100, I would think, at this point. Yeah, definitely more than 100. So you can go back and see what we were doing last year. I guess we haven't quite gone through a year yet, but uh, you can jump around, try some different ones. Um, yeah. So um, I was talking about unexpected things, unexpected happenings. Um, so you might say that they happen so often they should be expected, right? Expect the unexpected, as they say. Good morning, Dora. I know my dad used to always say, um, well, actually, it wasn't my dad. Now that I think about it, I think it was my mom. Because my mom was the more sort of fiscally responsible person in my house. I remember that. I remember Christmas was always kind of crazy because my dad loved to buy things. Um, but my mom handled the money. So my dad would go out and buy things with a store card. Do you guys remember? I'm sure you remember a store card, right? Before a credit card, before anything, you had a store card. And this one was for Strawbridge and Clothiers in Philadelphia. Um, and he would just go buy stuff, kind of stuff that he thought was fun or good or someone would like. Bought my mom a purse, bought my mom a ring, bought my mom, different things. Kind of sweet, right? Nice to buy things, but um, one of the problems was that they weren't necessarily things that she wanted, and someone had to pay for them after the thing. After Christmas. So, yeah, things were often tense around my house, January, February. Um, and that was something that I remember my mom saying was that um, every month there's an unexpected expense, right? Every month you have to plan for that. So you have to plan for the unexpected because you know it's coming. And it's like that in all aspects of our life. We want to think that everything is going to always go to plan, and we make plans, right? Because that's what we do. But we need to know that they are changeable all the time, um, and not let that throw you, not let that ruin your day or your week or your life. Um, it's kind of like it makes me think about this when we talk about holding on loosely. That's a great kind of word for everything, like a little phrase, right? Everything in yoga is holding on loosely. We're holding on to our attention and our consciousness, but only loosely. When we are meditating, we want to stay focused, but loosely, not you know tight and intense and um, causing that to be another thing that we have to kind of overcome. Um, Relax attention. And you can think of your life in that way too, relaxed attention, right? So you want to pay attention. You want to um, have goals and have um, plans, and work a strategy, like I want to do this, this, and this, but hold on to that loosely because it's going to change. um, and we need to be ready for that. um, and by being ready for that, I mean, some of it is preparation, right? I mean, being prepared for changing circumstances is smart. I mean, I hope, like, this stage of the game, um, I hope you all have plenty of toilet paper and plenty of paper towels. And I'm trying to think what else is getting short at the grocery store, right? I mean, there are things. So um, we have that foreknowledge that things, may be difficult to get for a while. So we're planning on that. We're planning, but it might change again. Um, what we don't want, right, is to constantly be surprised by this. Um, so we are preparing, but we're also preparing our mind, right? Because that's where the real problems set in. Um, you know, you could do without toilet paper. I got to tell you, you know, millions of people around the globe do so. It may not be ideal, but you could do it. It's all about, what do you think about that, right? Is it going to ruin your day if you don't have exactly what you need? Or are you just going to take it in stride and move on, thinking about what is really important? What is the goal? What is the end goal? The end goal is to get through our life comfortably and peacefully. And that is completely up to us. If we think back to the basics, what we need: food, shelter, love, right? Um, some meaningful part of our life, meaningful activities, something that makes it worth getting up in the morning. 4 things. I mean, there's probably a few more, but those are 4 big ones. Um, they're different for everybody, but the same as well, right? I mean, you may have some different feelings about that, but and you may have, different, like, you may care more about one than the other, and that's fine. But those are the bare minimum, right? You don't need a certain type of food. You just need something to survive. So if you have to give up this, this, and this, it's all right. Eat something else. Um, we have options. And again, that is all up to us. It is our thoughts and our feelings about these things that make them hard or easy. Um, so let's make things easier for ourselves by being more flexible, by understanding. And it goes hand in hand, right? If we understand that things are going to change and that things are not always given, things are not guaranteed, we can enjoy them, um, and enjoy them in their proper setting, right? Know that they are lovely but not necessary, that they are enjoyable but not um, enough to not important enough to get disrupted, to feel out of sorts if you don't get them. Um, and it's a process, right? You're not gonna, well, I shouldn't say this. I mean, many people, I know many people that they go through life like this. They have a very even keel. Um, my son, one of my sons, I've always, something I've very admired about him since he was a child is his ability to be very at peace and enjoying no matter what. Um, actually, both of my sons are kind of like that, but um, he doesn't have a lot of material desires. He likes certain things, um, but he's very indifferent to a lot of other things, which was difficult when he was a child. Like you're like, well, why doesn't he care about this? why isn't he getting excited about it? But as an adult, I'm like, wow, that's pretty great. He knows what's important to him, and he doesn't really care about the things that aren't important to him. That being said, he has some other habits that are not great, but again, like he knows what's important to him. And that is really the key, right? Figure out what is important to you. It's going to be different than anyone else. And there's no right or wrong with this. But find out what is your bare minimum? Right? What do you need to exist and to get by? Right? It's not to say we don't want to do more than just get by, but know that we can. Right? That's our power. That's our strength. Knowing where our baseline is. Right? And most of us, I think, will find that it's much lower than you ever thought. What you really must have to survive and to get by is very little indeed. So let that be comfort to you. If you don't get everything you need, if your Amazon packages aren't coming in time for Christmas, if things get stuck in the mail for a month or more, it's okay, right? It'll work out. We don't need those things in an absolute sense. We just like them. We enjoy them. And sometimes you'll get surprised, right? So I was getting aggravated because I didn't have bay leaves. It seems like we go through an alarming amount of bay leaves in my house. I don't really even know why. I think my children cook at night after I go to bed. they're like little cooking elves, and they do elaborate things like stocks and soups and crazy things, using up a lot of bay leaves. So I ordered some on Amazon, and there's packages that did not get here, but yet my bay leaves got here like almost immediately, and it's a container. Like it's the biggest container I've ever seen in my life. I don't know if I'll ever be able to use all those bay leaves, but now I'm set. I have nothing to complain about in the bay leaf department. So sometimes you got to do it, right? If you know that there's something that's bugging you, order a giant box of it from Amazon, and then you'll never be sad. You'll never be sad because it's gone again. Also, if you need any bay leaves, let me know, because I have I think it's £1, but again, you never know how much something is on there until you get it, and then you're like, what did I do? It was a mistake. All right, so let's do some asana. Sitting up tall, relaxed. And then chin down toward the chest. Just let your head hang. Back up, lift the chin. And back to center. Oh, I remember something else I wanted to say was, so I was thinking I was going to miss the solstice, right? Because for some reason I thought it was Sunday. So I'm like, well, we don't have class. We're not going to be together for the solstice. And then, of course, I found out it was Monday. And then, of course, I couldn't be here anyway because I couldn't get the laptop to work. So we missed. I missed the sol. I mean, we missed the solstice like I thought, but not in the way I thought. So I hope you enjoyed the solstice. I meant to look online. Uh, there was a sunrise and sunset sort of live stream from Stonehenge, which I wanted to see because I think that's pretty cool. That whole idea. Um, but it was, of course, not our time, and so I think I missed it because it was off. But I think they do that every year. So if you're interested and you want to see what it looks like um, when the sun aligns with the stones, um, I think they do it. I think they do it every year. So I'll try to think. I'll try to remind everyone in the spring if they do it then, and maybe it will be a better time. I think it was like 2 in the morning, which is a terrible time for me. But you know, maybe some other time it'll be different. I guess it will never be different, right? Although I guess the sun rises and sets different times. So yeah, maybe it will be better. Lean forward and move around. Back up. And then let's walk the hands out in front. Hands behind, squeeze the shoulders together, gaze up. And back to seat. Let's lift the shoulders, roll back. And forward. We're gonna just leave the hands on the knees. We're gonna do a seated cat-cow. So leaning forward. We're pulling back the shoulders, gaze up. And then drawing the belly in, curve the shoulders forward, head comes down. Inhale, exhale. Back up. Let's bring the arms wide. Deep breath in. Exhale, hands together. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Once more. Inhale. And exhale. Interlace the fingers. Lift the hands, gaze up. And then arms down by your side. Inhale, lift. And lower. Lift. And lower. Once more, lifting up. And then right hand down by your side, reach across the left. Switch. Back up. We're going to bring the left arm up. And then see if you can bring, so we're trying to get this elbow kind of up by the top of the head. And your hand is kind of by the ear. And then we're just pulling gently to one side. So, it's just a very gentle thing. We're not at all trying to force that neck down. And then release it. And let's switch. And then release the arm down. Let's lift the shoulders again, roll back. And forward. Soles of the feet together. Sitting up tall. Take a deep breath. Lean forward. Come on back up. Let's bring this left leg underneath with the knee pointing out, right on top. Get everything twisted around here and then maybe folding forward. Coming back up. Let's switch it around. So we've got right on the bottom, left on top. Breath in and fold. Extend both legs out in front. Deep breath in, fold forward. Back up, let's point and flex the feet. And then rotating, can't really see my feet, but you know what you're doing here, right? Rotating the feet around. One direction and the other. Let's bend the right knee. We're going to hug it in, sitting up nice and tall. Breath in, breath out. And then lower the knee to the side. Got that right foot up next to the left thigh. Deep breath in, and then leading with the chest, we're folding forward. And back up. Switch your legs around. So the left leg is out right leg is out. Left leg is hugged in. Or the opposite, right? If you started out on the other side, that's fine. Lowering that knee to the side. Take your breath in, and then folding forward. Back up, both legs out in front. Deep breath, fold forward. Moving back up, bend the knees. Again, we've got soles of the feet together. Take a deep breath. Lean forward. Moving back up. Let's lift the knees. We'll catch a hold of the toes or tops of the feet. Lean back a little so you're balanced. And then see what you want to do for extension. Bend the knees. Set the soles back down. Let's do boat pose here. So you've got knees together again. You can bring the hands behind the thighs here, balancing. You can extend the hands. You keep the feet here. You could extend. And then back up. Soles of the feet together. One more time. Breath in and fold. And then we're back up. Soles of the feet to the mat. And we'll lower down or rock back. Whatever works best for you today. Bring the knees into the chest. I'm going to bring the hands, palms onto the kneecaps and rotate. One way and the other. And just breathe here. So this is kind of an interesting way to be. So when we're doing breathing and we have the knees in like this, and you can bring hands here, you could also bring them behind the thighs if it's more comfortable for you. But you can see we've got the back resting on the mat. We've got the knees pulling into the chest. So as we're breathing, you'll definitely feel, things are a little more constricted. This is where we want to think about the sides, right? So we talk about this when we're doing the deep breathing, that we want to expand the body. Front, back, side body. This is where you can really feel the side body. As you're taking the deep breaths, there isn't too many places to go, right? So you may feel some loosening through this side body. Hopefully. If you don't, try to just relax a little more and see what happens. One of the important parts of asana is getting that feedback, so you understand, what does it feel like? What does it feel like when the side body expands, when the back expands? What does it feel like when I have my knee in this position or my arm extended out? We want to get those experiences in our heads so that we are very aware of where we are in space, where our body is, what's happening with the body, right? So we learn this with asana so that as we go through our day and our life, we have some frame of reference. We understand, this is starting to happen. My arm is bothering me. My shoulder, my hip. Here are some things I can do to help it. This is what I can do to maybe stop this from happening. So it's really a study, right? Asana is a study. I've also heard it described as a laboratory, right? We are experimenting and learning about our bodies and what our bodies need and what our body's response is to different types of stimulus. Okay, so let's extend the legs. And you can kind of um, keep hold of the thighs, or you can reach up, right? See what you can get a hold of. And then bending the knees. Let's bring the feet back down to the mat. We're going to walk them to the edges of the mat and let the knees bump together in the center. So this is just a very neutral position for that lower back. And let's bring arms to a T or goalpost arms. We're going to start lowering both knees over to the right. Back to center and moving left. Back to center. Right ankle on left knee. Staying here or pressing that knee away if things in the right hip are very tight. Otherwise, let's draw that left thigh in closer to the body. Use the hands to bring it in. And then rest that foot back down. Let's switch. And whichever variation you did on the one side, let's do it on the other. And both feet back down. Let's extend them long. Arms out to a T for five-pointed star. And then bringing everything back to the center again. We're going to set up for bridge, supported bridge, unless you really want to do regular bridge, and then you can, but I'm going to do supported bridge. Lifting up, bringing the block in a good place. And then let the body rest. You can always bring the knees into the chest if you want, or extend the legs up. You want to do something a bit more today. And then lifting up, set the block to the side. You can bring soles of the feet together, knees apart. Maybe arms up over the head, if you like how that feels. Find that steadiness. Let's move right into Shavasana here. If you want to move to a different position, you can. Extending the legs or whatever you want. Just relaxing, finding a place where you feel at ease. So finding our ease is a pretty worthy goal, much more so than accumulating a lot of goods, a lot of stuff. Um, Money can help, right? Money can make your life feel easier, but that in and of itself isn't enough, right? Um, Having people around you, having friends, that can also make your life easier, but it's not enough. Right? We need to find that ease within. If you have this, then none of those other things um, really matter. I mean, they're nice and it's good, but really everything that we search for outside of ourselves, um, the the structure that we try to build of our life is nothing without the internal structure. If we don't have that strength and ease and sense of calm, we are going to be chasing our tail all of our life, looking for that, looking for the thing that will make our life whole, will make our life make sense, make us feel secure, feel at ease, right? The only real place for that is within. Um, and it's so funny, right? Because we all carry it with us. It's something we've had since we were born. Um, we've had forever. But it's so overlooked. We want to look everywhere but within. We read books, we travel, and we try to find that thing when it's been with us all along. Um, I think it's kind of like how people who live in, famous places never even go to see that thing that it's famous for, right? They just take it for granted. They don't even see it anymore. It's just part of the scenery. Um, we overlook our greatest treasure in the same way. Um, when in truth, cultivating that relationship within, communicating with the self, leaning on that self is um, really, it should be our primary focus. Once we have that established, right, um, then we are going to be of better use to ourselves, to everyone around us. So I think, we even in our culture, right, we don't really have words for this, but we have other words that mean something like it, but they're unclear, right? So this idea that, you can't love anyone until you love yourself. Um, it's a common thing that we say in sort of Western society when people are having trouble with their relationships. Say, well, work on yourself and get to know yourself. But it's a very abstract thing, right? Usually people don't have the framework to understand that. You guys do, right? You kind of understand what that means. Um, it means that, this self, this internal life is your primary relationship. It is your primary focus. It will yourself and this connection, mind, body, spirit. It is the basis of everything for you. How you see the world will be influenced by that. Your relationships, every relationship you have, will be a reflection of that connection. Um, we are seeking this love and this affection and this connection in every aspect of our life, except the one place where it is, for sure. Um, so start there and then expand. So those other things are nice, right? We talk about needs versus wants. Um, you need a strong relationship with the self. Other things are nice, right? But we can do without them. We may not always have a romantic relationship in our life or a partner. We may not always have friends. We may be short of money. We may not have a secure place to live. I mean, there are times that we go through insecure periods. Everyone does. Um, we can't make those our focus. Make your focus be that eternal within. when you're ready, moving again. And then making your way up to a seat. Bring hands together. We'll take a breath in and out. Thank you for spending some time this morning on your mat, for thinking about yoga, and for sharing yoga with me. I hope that you have a very good Tuesday. Namaste. Great. Okay, let's do some meditation. Come on, you'll love it. 5 minutes. Keep that frame of mind where you are at peace, relaxed, relaxed awareness, right? Loose, holding on loosely. I'm trying to think. Is it Journey? Is that a Journey song? Hold on loosely. I swear there is a song called that, and I'm terrified. I think it could be Journey. I'll have to look it up. But now it's like playing in my head, and it's probably going to be playing in my head through the whole meditation. So that's something to look forward to, don't you think? I can't even find my app here. I'm so distracted. Okay. So sitting comfortably, relaxed, and breath is relaxed. Okay, we're back. All right. Well, I hope you enjoy your Tuesday. We're getting down to the wire here towards Christmas. Yeah. So relax. Don't stress too much, and I'll be back tomorrow.